You are listening to the USDN on the DSPN.
It's a trap!
Hello there, and welcome to the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. And tonight, we are stepping into the 28th century in a world rebuilt on competition, spectacle, and survival. Civilization clings to existence under the domes of franchise cities, where the most powerful currency isn't money or politics, it's victory. Our guest tonight, Donal Thoms-Cappello, brings us into the world with POWERSCAPE, a science fiction saga 2 decades in the making, exploring what happens when humanity turns itself into a game. Donal, welcome to the Council of Nerds. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm great, man. That was a great intro. Can I hire you, a junior writer?
It's what I do, man. If I'm going to be known for anything, it's going to be known for nailing intros.
Nail intros and a fire intro theme, man. I forgot. Oh man, I'm bouncing to that. That is good.
Oh yeah, dude. You got to have the good musical intro followed by the spoken word intro, and that's what I've perfected over time. Is that good intro? Everybody deserves a good intro.
I like it. Here's what I perfected. Product promo placement here. If you look, I'm just going to turn naturally. There's the logo. There's POWERSCAPE right over there.
That's at the end of the show. We'll get to that part of it.
You're
jumping the gun, man. You're jumping the gun. But hey, let's jump in and start right at the heart of it. This story is set in 2798 AD, where Powerball isn't just a game. It's the glue holding civilization together. What was the original spark for this concept? Was it sports culture, social commentary, or something else that evolved into this world of franchise cities and its alien energy sources?
That's a good question. I think it's a little of everything you just kind of mentioned. This idea started, I think, 20 years ago. I was traveling. I was studying abroad, actually, at the Globe Theatre in London, and I was studying playwriting. In England,
shout out to all my friends in the UK.
Yeah, shout out to the Irish.
Probably asleep right now.
Yeah. And I basically shout out to my man Andy, by the way, who's watching the chat.
Yeah, I left that up for you. Andy, welcome to the council, man.
He's a good man. So yeah, I was there basically kind of in between the events of 9/11 and back, and I was very aware of there were these sports narratives that we always had sports narratives, right?
I mean, in the UK, it's a whole nother level when it comes to soccer, though.
For sure. Well, it wasn't, what's interesting, it wasn't UK sport. I mean, definitely UK sports. I actually went to a hurling game in Kilkenny, and I got to see like this, which is, I don't know if you've ever seen hurling. It is a whole other, sport. It's really intense. It's pretty interesting. But it was that combined with kind of being outside of America and kind of seeing everything from the outside in, and seeing how like we were there was so much of our our mental energy and everything we're aware of what defines our culture and society was based on these, this rhythm of like weekly contests, the NFL for sure,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the gladiator kind of arena is kind of does hold things together when we are on unstable ground, when we're on shaky ground. And I was sort of kind of playing around with the idea of like, wow, what is it to be system conscious? When you talk to people and you ask them, what is the thing that's really holding together a society? Like, sometimes you have to bring up like, what's more important, like this major cultural event we all take part in, or like the sewage system? And everyone's like, well, yeah, the sewage system, obviously, that's like a really important thing in our lives.
Yeah.
But it's very it's secondary, right? It is not.
Yeah.
It's not really. We're not conscious of it. We're not aware of it, and
until it stops working.
Yeah, until it's not there anymore. Exactly. And so I started, that, and also just sort of seeing where we're going, like ecologically, and the that we're on, how sustainable is everything. I kind of was like, well, what if we just play this to its most extreme? Like, what if we really, we're not able to stop ecological, collapse and everything. And, but we kind of, because what I think you are seeing with humanity is this capacity to build technology that 10 years before is like not even imagined. And so what if our capacity to build technology keeps going the way it's going, but we don't learn the lessons of how to stay, in a livable planet?
No, absolutely, dude. And I think what POWERSCAPE did was kind of really showcase that to the very extreme, which from a social commentary standpoint, it's kind of like, as a person just reading it for the first time and going, damn, I hope that's not the route we're going down.
Yeah.
It's a very scary thought when the government or your city is like, hey, if we don't win Powerball, your asses ain't eating.
Yeah. And essentially the idea,
it's scary to think about. And then you kind of look at stuff going on currently, and you're like, wait a damn minute.
Well, and that's funny you said that, because I think the cherry on top, like I said, I held off on this story for 20 something years because I was a lot of it was I was not in the comic book industry. I didn't know enough people to.
And it's one of those industries too that's unless you know, unless you know somebody who knows. It's very hard to get into and to really want to roll the dice and try to play in. Absolutely. Because it's scary.
It's scary, and it's just like film. It's expensive, right? It's like, if you're going to commit to something, you got to commit your capital, your life, your energy, and the people who do it. I mean, I have a huge amount of respect for people who have been doing it, for longer than I have. I grew up with comics. Comics were kind of like the first thing that I really sort of, as the first medium that I really sort of started exploring storytelling. And I think that's why I came back to it now, is I'm in a place where we're all seeing the world's just changing in so many ways.
It's really such a great medium to use as a storytelling front.
That's beautiful.
Because really nothing is off limits when it comes to comic books.
Yeah.
You can literally tell whatever story you want.
Yeah.
And there's going to be an audience for it.
Yeah. And there are layers to stories. Like, I go back and I read things now and I'm like, this was meant to like be enjoyed on a short term, like one read, or oh no, this is like just in case you want to go back. Yeah, tie these together to a greiter.
And that's what I love about like some of the one-shot comic books that you do get is, we get it in a one-shot right now, and then 5 years from now they're going to push another one-shot based off that same first story, but it's kind of like the next piece of it that's just a single one-shot as well. You can read them together or not. It does not matter, because technically it is two different stories. But if you put both together, because it's the same characters, right? Yeah. And it's not necessarily a continuation of the story, but it can be, and it can flow that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there's a lot of really good comic books out
flexible
there
in the
like
mind.
that.
Yeah. It's flexible in the mind and the experience of the audience, right? Like for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's.
Well, I just wanted to say real quick, you put the cherry on top of, I think what got this, because it got to a point where for the last few years, I just couldn't stop thinking of the story. That's why I'm doing it, is I'm like, I literally was like, I'm going to go insane because every time I go to bed, it's writing itself. And, those are the ideas, my mentors have told me those are the ones you pursue, go after those ideas, no matter where they are. But I will never forget being in Los Angeles. I think it was like I was there, I lived there for over a decade. And I want to say it was like 2012, 2013. And the Lakers, as usual, are in the playoffs. And, or no, I think it's 2009, something like that. I think it was the one they went to.
Okay, yeah. With Shaq and Kobe was there.
Yeah, not Shaq. I think it was after
that was
Shaq.
Just before.
It was the Orlando finals, I think.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm getting into the sports side. But anyway, I'm there at a bar with a couple friends and we're eating, and this guy comes up and he's selling these jerseys. Lakers jerseys, Laker paraphernalia, right? And he's got this whole apparatus. He looks like a peacock, like it's sticky.
Oh, yeah.
All this stuff is sticking.
I've seen those before.
Yeah, horrible. But like, this is just a guy walking into a random bar, and this is what he does. He goes bar to bar. And like, I'm like looking at his stuff and I'm like, wow, dude, this is like an operation here. And he's like, yeah. And he looks at me and he's like, yeah, man, this has been feeding my family for like 10 years. Like, and I'm like, yeah. And then like, we look and we're watching the game and he's like, yeah, if they don't go to the finals, I don't know how I'm going to support my kids. And then he's like, you want to buy a jersey? I was like, wait, is he pulling those on me? But I don't think it was lying, right? Like,
and then he goes outside and gets in his Lamborghini and drives off.
Right, yeah. The Laker fan, you never know. But like, no, I
and it's LA, so
it is. But LA is a great example of like, there are so many franchises that the Dodgers. I mean, look at the Dodgers and what they just did recently, right? Like, like how much economic stimulation did the downtown need from that? Like how much is that kind of being counted on sometimes?
And
right?
So it's weird. So they won it this year, but that economic growth that's going to come into that area is going to last the next 20 years.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
it doesn't take much. I mean, Atlanta went through the same thing with the Braves.
Absolutely.
And then it's like the first World Series, and it's like boom. Yeah,
the Braves were keeping the suburbs, with something to do, I guess, on the weekends, right? So,
especially as much as they charge for parking. Last time I was down there,
yeah. And so if you combine that pattern with literally like energy, right? Our what if our oil and gas sector essentially the way we had to distribute what we have to live is based on that model. Because it becomes the only model, and that's basically what happens in POWERSCAPE.
And, that's a good segue of energy when we talk about the core energy from your book and the arbiters. How did those ideas come about? I know you just hinted at it a little bit, but tell us about the core energy and the arbiters.
Yeah, in the story, essentially, all anyone knows is that at some point a few hundred years ago, humanity was underground. The surface of the earth is unlivable, and it kind of looks like it's sort of game over for us. And there was some kind of an alien contact. There was some kind of extraterrestrial contact made. And this technology was gifted to where we could make breathable atmospheres, but hold them in like a pocket in a dome. And that saves many cities on the continent. The stipulation is that there's some kind of a diplomatic accord that happens. We know there's some kind of like a diplomatic sort of convention or some kind where there's an agreement that in order to distribute this energy, in order to show that we're worthy of continuing having this energy, we're going to distribute it in the way that Khan feel that it's appropriate, and that is through some kind of combat or some kind of competition.
Yeah. So, you know what that kind of reminds me of? Did you ever watch The Simpsons, right? Everybody watches The Simpsons.
Oh my gosh, I grew up on them. Yeah.
So the aliens that were always stopping by Earth and then kind of watching through the lens.
Yeah. And
they're like,
right? Yeah.
Exactly. And they're just like, what do we always watch this for?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it gave me, like a little bit of
they're there. They're there somewhere. Yeah.
And they're just kind of like watching it, and they're like, why don't we just blow them up?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but they're entertaining.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that's fun is, well, you know, fun to make as a story device is they haven't been, no one's seen a Khan alien, a member of the Khan alien species. That's the name of the species that in the story. No one's seen one in a long time, and in fact, they went out of their way to sort of they're legendary more than anything. And every time you think they're not there, something happens that kind of reminds them we are there, we are here, we are watching. Like, don't stray from the game. And that's it. That's the only role they play, which is sort of kind of, I mean, I think I put that in there because I feel like that is most of our societies now, because we all have like a camera watching us somewhere, somehow, and you do just behave differently.
The internet is forever, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Unfortunately. Yeah.
But can you walk us through kind of like the mechanics of the Powerball and kind of give us a little bit of more information about that? Just like an idea of what the game is. I know a lot of people who may not be familiar with it, but kind of like give us what Powerball is in this comic book. Yeah.
So the game that humanity is, that the humans have come up with to essentially save themselves is this game that sort of borrows a lot from rugby, from football, right? From all these different sort of sports before it. And every city, every franchise city has an arena where teams meet. There are two goals in the end of the fields. One goal is, but what they really are module pipelines. They lead to like different places. If the ball itself is a piece of the core power, which is core chained orbital reaction energy. That's sort of the name that we have for whatever it is the aliens gave us. And if the home team scores a goal, the ball goes down into a reactor for the city, and essentially keeps feeding the city. If the away team scores the goal, it goes into a shuttle that goes into this underground. Basically, humans essentially travel through underground systems because you cannot travel outside of the domes. You can't travel. You can't. There's no free roaming on Earth anymore. You're kind of stuck in these.
You're in your city.
Yeah, and you can go underground and you can take rails, but most cities prohibit travel unless you're players, unless you're teams. And so teams. So now it's been over about 300 years of this game sort of being played to distribute the energy, and there are kind of two major developments, which is one, because we've lost a few cities along the way, so that everyone's kind of aware that there needs to be sort of some politics played here. So it's very rare that you lose all three. There's three core balls in each game. Essentially, right? If you win, if you get 2 out of 3, you win. If you win, you go to the playoffs. If you go to the playoffs and you win that, you get a huge amount of core to sustain yourself. If you essentially, if you lose, you have to get something to keep yourself going, to keep yourself surviving. If you lose too much, your city collapses, which has happened to a few cities already.
So, and issue 1 that you sent over to me, it mentions there. I think there had been at that point had been 2 or 3 cities that had collapsed.
There's more. Yeah, there's a few.
Well, it was more hinted at, but I felt like I think there was only like 2 or 3 actually
that were mentioned.
Like,
I think
that were mentioned. Yeah.
And I don't, anyone who can purchase the issue, by the way, on our Patreon directly, or you can purchase as part of our Kickstarter launch. There's a map on the back of the issue that sort of shows.
The very last page of issue 1 had it on there, and I thought that was really cool to see. Just like.
Thanks. Yeah.
The collapse of everything. And it was really cool because, you see it like from South America up, I believe it was what it was. And then just the little pocket cities, and there were like few and far between, really. Yeah, because if you look at the map, the middle of the continent, basically everything like the southeast up to like almost the Midwest of America is like desert now. Down and then into like the middle of Mexico, and then up north of British Columbia and over around like Alberta, it's like acid rain.
So a lot of the lands are just kind of uninhabitable.
So a lot of this story is really rooted in some of the 21st century trends like climate collapse, corporate control, and even media addiction. You know, a lot of this is played out within that very first issue. You see a little bit of all of that.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. It's definitely, I mean, all of that is certainly driving the story. The story is, it's a very, I have a lot planned with it. As my wonderful artist, Stefan Toshev, reminded me, he's like, get it, you have a great long version, get a short version. And I do have a short version. But
that's literally, like, I've never met a comic book writer who said that, like, the hardest thing is cutting. There's always a good artist behind a good writer saying, dude, this is going to be 60 pages. Cut it.
Yeah. Oh, Stefan's great because he's like, I just want you to know I hate words. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. Totally, I get it. But that's what I love is that it's unlocking so much of what I learned in film showing and how, my whole journey as an artist is like, words are great and they're effective, but you can overuse them, right? Mm-hmm. And like anything, and you got to treat them just like you would treat, a shot in cinematography, or or like a specific kind of lighting.
It's got to be hard selling, and it's got to keep the reader enticed. Absolutely. As well.
Yeah, and it's a visual medium. It's a visual.
Exactly. And you literally let the visuals tell the story and the words just guide it. Totally.
Which has been, and that's been so fun because, I don't think I'm that good of a visual storyteller, like on terms of authoring it. So, it's been a great sort of lesson of like letting go of certain things. Like, no, it's, you have to let somebody come in and take this.
So space. Does your artist also do your lettering?
For this issue, yes.
Okay.
Sure. Yep. And that was good. I mean, I definitely got a lesson in how
that explains why he told you he didn't like words.
Yeah. No, his lettering. I mean, Stefan's very, very good at. I mean,
I thought you were going to bring him on. Could he not join you tonight?
No, he couldn't make it tonight. Okay. He had to. I think he had a family matter, but that
would always come first.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he sends his best, and he loved the project, and specifically he had this great moment there, I think in issue 1, where he has a character that keeps interrupting everybody about their brand deal, right?
That's where we're about to go to.
Oh, great.
No, continue where you're going, and I will pick up my question after you're done.
What I loved was when I didn't, in my head, I thought it is kind of an interruption, but I didn't really format it that way. And then when I'm looking at it, Stefan kind of had the lettering in a way that this guy is kind of being interrupted. He's overlapping and he's getting in between this really important sort of a little mini monologue of another character. And I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Like he did such great character development just with that thought,
I'm glad we're here because I love the fact that you let us believe that he was going to be one of the actual main characters of the story.
We're not spoilers, right? We're doing spoiler.
No, non-spoilers.
I'm okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Because I want people to go back and read it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And
it's all good. It's all good.
And it actually, he turns out he may not be the actual main character that we're dealing with. Your actual main protagonist is a refugee entering this brutal system. Yeah. And she can't figure out why she's there. Like she has no real significance in her mind for her to be where she's at. She's not that good. She's brand new to the field. She hasn't really been in training that long for the Powerball. Yeah. So for her, it's like, why am I actually here?
Yeah.
And she's about, as the first issue is ending, she's about to step into it. Yeah. You're about to find out real soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really appreciate you keying in on that. Is that that is definitely
but it was done really good. So props to you and props to the artist because the misdirection is beautifully done. It's well done. Because you got this guy, he's like, hey, who do I talk about my brand deals with? All right,
Just
gotta
kind
get
of
that
he's like
money.
assuming, right? It's
I
like,
gotta
oh,
get
I'm
that
all good to go,
money.
right? Yeah.
And like fucking 5 minutes later, it's like a whole nother story, and you're like, damn, that swerve was good.
Yeah, I'm glad you like that.
Dude, that was loved
yeah,
it.
thank you. I am I appreciate that. That is there it is I'm really trying. So he's not going away anytime soon, but definitely I think this whole story is kind of one plot thread is about being young and kind of, okay, it's your time to shine. And when you realize so much of what you thought was a merit-based piece, a competitive sort of system is actually so much politics and so many things that you might not, before you're even out of the gate, your fate is decided for you. And you know, that Kai's character kind of represents sort of this, you know, you're told so much about what your life is going to be, and you know, it's very a millennial experience, right? Of like,
exactly. And it was one of those where I was like, man, this dude's overconfidence. I'm like, I don't really see this like you kind of get that feeling like something like he feels like at the center point of the story coming in, but then it's like you have this other quiet character, and you're like, maybe we're being swerved, but you really don't get. You know, it's literally the very like last page, I think, of the actual story that you finally get the swerve, and you're like, I like where we're going with this, because but she gives that energy, like she's somebody knows she's meant for better, and she's going to be better than what she thinks she is.
Yeah. Or she's definitely going to be offered to be better, for sure. Yeah,
exactly. It feels like something else is like pulling some strings there for her to get her to where she needs to be to unlock who she will be.
Yeah, Gela is, so this is Gela Gale,
Gela Gale, yes,
the other Rook. Yeah, Gela is Gela's a very important character, and for sure there's you know, we're kind of I kind of realized as I was planning this out, like, you know what, I'm new to this too, and we're all going to be new to it. The audience is new to it. You know, I have this story world set, but I'm also like, you know what, I want this to have moving parts. I want to kind of, you know, just sort of figure it out as we go along. I mean, I know, you know, I know what franchise cities we're dealing with. I know where we're going to the playoffs and things like that. But I was like, we need, all of us, including myself, we need a character with whose perspective is going to be just as new as ours. And I was like, you know what, a rookie, like let's put a rookie in, and we're really going to kind of learn as she learns, really, like, what is this world?
No, I really like that direction, because she's such a fitted main protagonist for the story, because she's she don't know why she's there, and those characters to me always end up just telling a good story. Like you can feel like okay, we got the swerve, and you're secretly you're rooting for this other character anyway, because she's very quiet. She's very well put together, even though she doesn't know why she's there.
Yeah,
but yet you
can already see they're all kind of playing politics against her, even just in those.
But I'm like,
yeah.
Somebody at a higher level pulled strings and played politics to get her there. So I'm hoping there's another something coming that's going to tell us, like,
there is.
This person. Oh, good. You know, I've been reading like comic books, especially these types of comic books, long enough to where I can kind of feel like I'm pretty sure I know where this is going. But if there's another good swerve, I'm not going to be mad at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are definitely swerves. I'm a big. I don't want to give things away, but I guess what I
no, let's not spoil anything, because I do want people to come out and support book 2, pick up book 1, because book 1, if you can't tell, I was very excited for book 1. I thought it was really good.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
And issue 2 is, we're in the middle of making it right now. We've got the Kickstarter. We definitely need some resources just to get it out there ASAP. I would love everybody's support if you can. I was going to say, though, I was going to use it to segue it into, I think, the comics that kind of inspired me along the way to make this. And for sure, you know, as I'm writing this, I'm definitely Brian Azzarello's 100 Bullets absolutely kind of had that effect on me that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you know, you get a swerve and you're like, oh, that's really interesting. And then you kind of get another one and you're like, oh, okay, so it's going to be this kind of a story. And then you get another one and you're like, whoa, what is going on here? You know, but he's so good at making the pieces fit. And he's so good at like showing you, if you look back, like we were saying, you give it a second or third read, you look back, you're like, oh, he had this plan from the jump. This is not.
You know what? We're getting to a question just like that here in a few minutes. There's a question coming that's very similar to what the road you were going down. But let's get there.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, that's what I was really going to say, right? Was I definitely that story certainly inspired me, and I think what for real totally inspired me for this is when I was 14 at a ranch camp in New Jersey, I think around Freehold. Somebody gave me a stack of Strike Force Moratori by I think it's Brian Gillis, I think wrote it. I can't remember his name. Oh my gosh. It was incredible for me. That series is directly impacted me here, like doing this project.
It's funny how like just those random books can have a lasting impact.
Right.
And it's like, it was something that you would never pick up yourself. Like you would never buy it yourself, but because somebody gave it to you and you're like, yeah, I'll read it. And then you're like,
yeah. It's like people giving you a mix.
This is so good.
Yeah.
I would have never read this on my own. And that's what I love about indie comics.
Yeah.
Nothing against DC, nothing against Marvel, but there's just something about storytelling in indie comics and watching that artist's or that writer's dreams come true on pages. And, that to me is.
I am really heartened to see how it feels like, because the big dogs went off to play in movies, there's kind of a vacuum that I can see people look like their eyes are lighting up, and we're all kind of like, oh, we might be able to fill this with
so it's been a really fun year for comic books when it comes to that, because there's been a lot of small players hit big this year.
The key is can we get funding systems that keep it consistent so we could tell long stories, right? So that it's not like we burn out after a few issues because we just ran out of money. I'm really into the Cloudscape Comics Collective up here in Vancouver. Great group of people, and they're really good at supporting artists, and that's sort of their goal of like, we're trying to create communities where it's like you're not just making one fun thing. I mean, it's definitely there's a pro-am sort of aspect.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Also, there's a profession, for professional objectives. Like those are the kind of efforts of like where we're trying to find ways where it's not just I do 2 or 3 pieces of this thing and we're done. Like how can we make sustaining continual
and that's really kind of what has inspired me over the last few months of doing this type of stuff. Is it only took one person asking, because I had the idea of like, hey, I'm just going to put a post up and see if any indie creator or any creator really, I didn't care if it was an indie guy or, somebody from Marvel or DC, just like, hey, I'm just going to post like, hey, if anybody wants to come on the podcast and promote their work, I will provide the platform for that. You can come on, we can talk about your work, we can talk about your story. But I just want to do that. I wanted to talk to comic creators.
Good on you for it. Yeah, for sure.
And then it kind of like, for me, it kind of blew up from there with like people were contacting me like, hey, can I come on with my Kickstarter? I'm like, yes. And now it's like, a few times a month, I throw up my thing like, hey, I provide this service. I want you to come on. I want you to talk about your Kickstarter. I will do what I can to help you meet your goal at the end of the day. I will provide you this stuff. Yeah. And this is all I need from you, basically.
Well, and it's great because then maybe we all find each other and we start to be able to pull together those funding models, right?
Exactly.
And that's a huge service for that, right?
And it gives me content. It helps you, start preparing for your Kickstarter that's about to go live. And I just love talking to you guys who care and are so passionate about your projects. Like, what's better than that? Getting to talk to somebody who it isn't about, it's about the money because you want to get your project funded.
Yeah.
But you care so much about the project anyway that you'll find a way no matter what to get the project funded. You know what I'm saying? You actually give a shit about what you're trying to put out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely. Yeah. And the passion is there for sure. And I think Mark Millar said it best a while back at a convention where he was like, hey, Marvel and DC are like 9% of the market. Right. He was like, it's there. It's all there. It's up for grabs right now. Right.
And he would know. He's done work for both.
Yeah. No, just about. Right. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I think he just rushed through a book actually, which kind of upset me. He rushed through Vatican City. I think it was supposed to be, it should have been a 5 or 6. Just my opinion. I love him. Yeah. Like, he's a fantastic comic book writer.
Yeah. Well,
he produces some really fun stories.
Publications. I'm sorry. What were you saying? My bad.
But he kind of rushed through it. It only ended up being like a 4 book series.
Was it under Marvel or DC, or was it?
No, it was under Dark Horse, I believe.
Oh, okay, it was Dark Horse. Okay.
Yeah. And it was called Vatican City. It's about vampires in Vatican City, and vampires wanting something hidden underneath Vatican City. So basically, the world's ended. The only thing alive right now is vampires. They have taken over the world.
Wow.
And the thing they need is in Vatican City, and the only survivors of this apocalypse is inside Vatican City. So they're trying to basically convince this humans to retrieve it for them for immortality.
Oh, wow.
So it was, like I said, premise on fire. Perfect Mark Millar story.
I was going to say, it's one of those ideas where you're like, I wish I came up with that. God damn.
Dude, it's Mark Millar. The dude is like...
You're just so mad.
But he kind of rushed it because he wanted to go off and work on this. I think it's a DC project he's working on. And it's going to be like a TV series or something. So he had other reasons to kind of rush through stuff because bigger fish were coming in, and he wanted to wrap up what he was doing. But it was one of those where I was like, if you could have gave us at least 1, maybe 2 more issues of this book, it would have been like top notch, like some of the top tier Mark Millar stuff. But he didn't give that to us. So therefore, I loved it. Sorry, Mark Millar, but you hit, but you didn't hit. You rushed it. At least that's how I felt about it.
I have no problem with it, Mr. Miller. I have no problem with it. No, I'm just kidding.
I would tell him, and I think he would understand. Like, he seems like he would be very open to go. You're right.
I, for one, welcome our overlords. I feel like even he is pinched by
timelines and money,
and absolutely timelines, money, and budget, and there you go, right? And so it's like it should make us all feel. I mean, it's been a very liberating kind of few years for me as an artist because I used to just beat myself up for never being able to get certain things done, and then at some point a few years ago I was like, oh, that's why I couldn't get it done. I couldn't get the money, and when you just kind of realize how big of a role that plays in everything. Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Well, and again, it kind of speaks to a lot of what's in this story, the idea of the illusion of a merit-based society and how much of it is actually dictated of things happening off the field, even though, like you said, on the field, like if they don't get this energy, they're going to die. But you're
literally
surprised at how
they're already critically low going into issue 2. They are critically low.
Yeah, they're on a losing streak. Yeah,
exactly. Let's explore that some more. So let's talk about the team that you have on this book a little bit. So the visual and world design of POWERSCAPE is massive. We got energy domes, engineered athletes, alien technologies. How did you and I'm sorry if I'm going to keep forgetting the name of your artist, and I apologize to him.
Stefan Toshev.
Phenomenal artist. I really like what he's doing on the book.
Yeah, just finished.
How did y'all? Because it's just the 2 of you, right?
No. There's also Rashid Banda, who has been instrumental in a lot of the environmental art concept designs.
Okay, perfect.
Much of the story world sort of aesthetics. Stefan has been creating the characters and their looks and their feel. He's been creating a lot of logo designs and just doing a lot of this story was preserved in my notes through character profiles.
Yeah, I have a notebook over here.
Right? Yeah. That really is your story.
I'm working on something behind the scenes, and it's just like
Very nice.
I write it all down, and eventually I need to transfer it over to an Excel spreadsheet or something, and just get it all organized.
I'm a Scrivener fan, just so you know. I'm a big fan of Scrivener.
Okay.
Shout out to Scrivener. Sponsor this guy. Sponsor this guy, please. And I definitely so Stefan really came up with a lot of their looks, their profiles, a lot of their characterization, like, you know, visually.
And I like it because everybody is very, very different. Like from the coach to, I guess the one guy is like, I don't know what he is. Almost like the manager. It looked like the heavier set guy.
It's sort of an assistant coach, Mel Sealy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mel. Yeah. That was Stefan's idea. That
he's kind of greasy looking. You know, he almost looks like a politician a little bit.
My original sketches from like 2001, 2002, I had him. I think I was basing him off Malik Sealy, and then I was like, and then I you know, it was a little outdated. It wasn't working for who the character was, and I mean, you know, rest in peace, Malik Sealy, like amazing. But anyway, but then Stefan kind of took him and made him this character, and I was like, oh, that works a lot better for what we're doing.
So if you're a WWE guy, he almost reminds me of Paul Heyman.
Yes, I can see that. Absolutely. He is a lot like Paul Heyman. He actually is.
And that was the vibes I got from him. I'm like, dude, this almost feels like, you know, Paul Heyman a little bit. I like him because
strategist. Yeah,
he was shooting it straight with the rookie. Like when he realized, like, what are you doing with this book? You know, he's like, I'm not snitching, but you know, he's like, I can see you're a cultured person who is wanting to expand not only, you know, her mind, but you know,
absolutely.
I can appreciate him for not snitching.
No, Mel, well, it's like you were saying, right? What's the reason she's here? You know, Mel plays a big role, and he's trying to look for something different, not just for them to win, but you know, as we'll see, Mel is Mel's ahead of the curve usually on everything, and he
seems like he's I don't want to say he's playing both sides of the ball, but he may be playing both sides of the ball, and I got a feeling like like
there are characters like that. There are characters out here playing both sides of the ball.
I mean, you can kind of feel that from the athlete to some perspective. The coach is kind of like, I don't really think she's one track. It feels like she's very one track.
Coach Kana. Kana is.
Rich, I really think very Chun-Li in appearance. You know.
Yeah.
But she feels like she's very one track mind, and that's the game.
Yeah, she's so I mean the executive, the power structure, as we're going to see, is kind of, there's a public-private partnership happening that's running the city. The franchise is run by Kana, who's the executive coach, and she's a former player, and she's kind of worked her way up the ranks, and she's probably like done all this like cutthroat sacrificing, like for
you can tell because of the way her character is portrayed, like. She's very one-track mind on the game for a reason.
And she's jaded. She's really jaded, and I
can't imagine, you know, in this society, what it took for a female to get to the position she is in. I don't know how the infrastructure was or her backstory,
right? You know,
but it's just one of those. I know for a female coach in general, in what seems like a male-dominated sport, I'm like, it would almost be impossible. You know, for a
I mean, this is definitely in this story. It's all genders. I mean, everybody's on the floor, is on the field. There are. I mean, you know, I'm a big. Like I was a Tisha Penicheiro fan when I was younger, like from WNBA, and I used to get my ass kicked by girls playing basketball, like in Venice Beach. So, like, I'm a big proponent of, like, you know, we're it's closer than we think, you know, and I think that. Especially for this, because, you know, these are meta-powered people, beings, and they've been genetically engineered, not just to win games, but to market themselves. Because in this is, you know, 700 years later, the superhero is a mythical archetype, and so they're all inhabiting this sort of look of a superhero archetype.
Yeah, everybody like very much has that. Look at me, I'm a superhero. And it also explains why the rookie was asking about his endorsement deals, you know. It's like, look at this.
It's all to keep it's to keep the butts in the seats, right? It's to keep people engaged. And
but then you know, it's really cool because then you have your main protagonist, or who will be the main protagonist, I think, in the next issue, she just looks like us.
Yes.
It doesn't look like anything special, but I got a feeling she's going to be very special.
Well, there's certain people who just like they have a feel for a game. They understand. They know that it's not about what they're doing right here. It's about they have to figure out what's the game behind the game, right? Yeah.
I'm tracking.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, I got a feeling she's going to be this brilliant mind for the game.
Yeah, I don't want to give away much, but you're
I don't want you to give it away. But
I mean, maybe I also could just be bad at swerving.
This is the chairman's thoughts, okay? They're not Donald's thoughts.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Cindy Long, who's also working on the book. She's our graphic designer, and Cindy kind of the press releases in the beginning, the playoff lineup. That's Cindy's work. And
that was really cool too. I really like that added touch of that.
Yeah,
that was
totally.
really cool.
Yeah, and then the roster. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead about the roster.
Well, I was going to say the roster is a collection of literally. I have these guys drawn out in a notebook from 2002, and I have they don't look exactly the same. They've been definitely Stefan's kind of put his input. I've been changing them, and then there's a couple new ones that I've introduced.
They've been chemically enhanced.
Yeah, they've all yes. There's the shiver tank, right?
Exactly.
The culmination of your training is you go into this genetic tank and you get a power unlocked, and you kind of can't plan what it is. Nobody really knows what it's going to be. It might be something really good for the field. It might be useless. It might be awful. It might disfigure you. But if it doesn't work, you're kind of like they're like best luck out there, kid. And so it's soon in the story we're going to meet somebody who went through that direction where it actually just didn't work for them.
Okay,
and
cool.
they're kind of they're one of us now, and what that's like and stuff. And I don't want people thinking it's just kind of like sports, right?
No. There's a lot of real deep stuff happening in just even the first part of the story.
Yeah, thank you.
And but how did you balance the spectacle of this sci-fi action with the philosophical, emotional core of this story? Because it's a lot. I mean, you get the sci-fi elements, you get a little cyberpunk element, but you're telling a deep story in this book. It's not deep as yet, but you can tell it's about to go to a deep place as you're getting more toward the end of issue 1. That there's going to be some deeper elements come into play in it. So how did you kind of balance all that out? Because you could have went just pure sci-fi and said, we're going sci-fi and we're not going to give you anything else.
Yeah, I mean, so I definitely there is a big vision and a message. I think I kind of want to. I don't want to say I want to give a message here so much as ask a question. Ask a really important question and take a few hundred issues, maybe to answer it. And or to see if we can answer it, right, and just see where it goes. And I think first and foremost, it's really about keeping it about the characters and knowing that characters are people, and that there isn't anyone here who's like
That's what you really nailed in issue 1 is letting it be known that they are still people.
Yeah, they're people. They are, there are people who do awful, evil things. There are people who do.
Yeah, we meet one of those in the story very early on. One of the players.
Yes. I think that's Troy. You're mentioning
Troy. Yeah.
Troy is messed up. Troy is. Messed up guy. Yeah.
Because I had to stare at that scene for a couple of minutes to figure out what was going on.
What was happening? Yeah.
And I was just like,
that's Troy's fan tribe as messed up as it is. Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is,
K-pop.
He's also
all the K-pop guys have their own little fan tribes, and I was like, yeah, okay, I see where. Okay,
I'm so glad.
I got it.
So glad you said K-pop. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's immediately. Having lived in Korea for many years.
There are some characters in the story,
and there's some that are like hardcore, like they will kill for their idol.
There are some characters in the story who will.
Yeah.
That's in there. That we got things planned like that for sure. I mean,
dude, yeah. I mean, you're nailing it with that. That's perfect. You're nailing it.
Thank you. Yeah, celebrity worship is cult-like. It is, it is.
It's very real, and it can be very scary.
Absolutely, yeah, and it can be very economically productive too, right? It can be very.
It can be that as well.
Yeah, and so I I really want, no matter what my rule is, I don't think of anyone as pure evil. I think of definitely there are going to be conflicting interests. There's going to be antagonists, protagonists, but everybody has a side of them that is, that there is something good and pure, but the world's kind of done this to us and put us in this system where we
put ourselves, literally they put themselves in the situation they're in this world, whether it may not have been the current generation living there, but their previous generations are the reason why we're at this point we're at in the comic book.
Yeah. And that brings the other side I wanted to say. So, Kana is the coach, like I was saying, and and that's sort of ironically, it's kind of the private sector side is the franchise, but then the Benton family runs the public side. They run the city. They're part of the city commission, and the city commission is technically under the franchise team. But Benton, Alroy Benton, he's the mayor magistrate. We'll meet him in the next issue. He is sort of he's so
he was the one that was making announcements in the beginning and toward the end of the story.
In the press release he made, he was the one that wrote the press release, and Troil is his son. And so Troil's that's why he's called Necro Baby, right? He's a Nepo baby. And the Benton family is kind of like the opposite of Kana, where they did not have to work to earn anything, and they've inherited the bones of what is left of British Columbia and Washington State, essentially. And they sort of, they've been very good at keeping themselves sort of leveraged in a power system where even though they don't technically have anything to do with playing the game, they control enough of the things you need for your society, right? Including the power structure and the power network and the power grid, that they have to be invited in the room on the decision making. And so that's sort of the background tension that's happening throughout the story. Is Benton and Kana are kind of, they have to play this outward dance to everybody where they're working together for the city. Yeah. But very clearly they're trying to screw each other.
At odds.
Someone's trying to become the big dog. Yeah.
So earlier I cut you off a little bit because you're getting towards some Easter eggs.
Damn.
And I wanted to stop you because I had a question about that. And now we're at that point where are there any hidden Easter eggs or lore details that you're particularly proud of that fans should be on the lookout for when they back this on Kickstarter later?
Oh boy. Okay. Watch for background stuff. So the next couple issues is going to be the game itself. We're going to watch the game happen.
Well, I mean, we get just enough sampling in issue 1, which is like fucking brutal. Pardon my language, but that was brutal.
Yeah.
But it was like poetic justice as well, because you're like,
I'm not
going to give it away, but
I'm not someone who wants to sell it on violence, right? But I did kind of want to immediately be like, stakes. No, this is
so. Sure, here's what was great about it. The story, there's nothing that leads you to the point to believe that Powerball is violent. There's hints about it, but there's nothing that you don't see nothing until the game actually kicks off. And then it's almost immediate. And you're like,
I mean, it's 28th century medical technology. So like you can repair almost anything. But
I figured as much, but it was just that pure. I figured, with alien technology and stuff, we're at that point where things can be regenerated and people can be repaired. And
in theory, it could be, but the it's not an exact science as well. So that's an Easter egg. It's not an exact science. And B, what does that do to you psychologically as a person? That you're being, that the whole city's kind of going to throw you out there, and you might just get chopped up, and then they patch you up and they throw you out again. And I'm really interested in the effect, because I've seen that, I think, up close with athletes, with myself, my own injuries and things, of like how the body keeps score, right? And the body absorbs what happen, and how that really changes who you are and your personality. That was actually a major reason why I loved Strike Force Morituri. Sorry, I don't want to go throw you off from your question.
No. I mean, this is why it influenced you to write this book. So
Well,
If we got to reference back to it, please reference back.
Everybody should go read it. I mean, Strike Force Moratori. What's so cool about it is it's an alien invasion, and people get turned into superheroes to fight the aliens. But with the process of it, you are now only going to be alive for up to a year, and then by the end of your year, you like burn up and you spontaneously combust in like this awful death.
Yeah.
So it is, you can see how when the clock is ticking, when people are approaching the year being up, the characters are like, the trauma is there, and they can't really execute things as a team all the time because of it. And I'm really interested in that, because I think in so many efforts of every aspect of society I've seen of people trying to, get together and organize and do things. It is so hard for us all. We really, if we don't confront the self first, we kind of useless in a collective effort. And I think that's it's something I kind of want to explore in that. And yeah, I guess that would segue to I would pay attention to ad boards, ad backgrounds, perhaps I would say.
So I always tell people when I'm reading a comic book, I pay attention to the background art, because there's always stuff hidden, not everywhere, but you never know where you're going to find a little piece of something that's like a little Easter egg. That's why it takes me like, oh, I read that comic book in 5 minutes. I'm like, that's cool. It took me 30 because I was literally studying the backgrounds.
Yeah, I'm that person too. That's how I feel. Like a page should tell like an entire story in and of itself. And, and Stefan and I are on a really good page with that, pun unintended, where like, it's its own 3-act structure in the page, and it ends on a cliff, and each one ends on a cliffhanger in a way, right?
No, and it should, and I really enjoyed that as I read the first issue, was that it felt like multiple stories playing out all at the same time, but they all made sense and all corresponded and all led to the same place.
Oh, good.
So you nailed that. You nailed it.
Yeah,
nailed it.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it might be bumpy, but the major Easter egg is the map for sure. The other franchises, I've thrown some characters on the Instagram that are from other teams. I haven't announced what the teams are yet, but we have all that. We got the teams. We know who we are. We got a lot of the roster lineups. We got almost all of them, and I am leaving some room for the Kickstarter. If anyone has any idea for a character that they think would be a player, I'm open to a cameo character as well.
I'm glad you just led us there, because we're going to talk about the Kickstarter now.
Oh, cool! Thanks. Yeah.
So issue 1 is complete.
Yep.
Getting ready to start the campaign for issue 2.
Yeah, issue 1 stores are in BC right now. I'm hoping to get some hard copy. I'm sorry, hard copies are in stores in BC right now. Yeah. It's available on the Patreon for digital download as well. I'm sorry to cut you off there. And then issue 2. No. Yeah.
So are we planning like a 6-issue arc here? Or are we planning on like, hey, we're going to go until the good Lord says we ain't going no more?
My original plan, well, on terms, I got to think in stepping stones. I've got 6 issues planned out right now for a graphic novel. What I'm trying to do is try to get to a 6-issue graphic novel copy done.
And I think that's always a good place right there. As you get 6 issues, you do a hard copy or a trade paperback,
absolutely,
omnibus, whatever you want to call those.
Yeah,
and I always,
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I always appreciate when that's done, because you get to do it all 5 at once.
Absolutely, yeah. And
there's something satisfying about reading a 5 to 6 issue trade paperback. It's very satisfying. Yeah,
and my hope is people are into it enough that they'll definitely want to help us get that and achieve that. I am a big fan of floppies for the sake of I just love the days of I can't. I feel like Netflix really ruined so much of the anticipation aspect of storytelling, where it's like, I can't binge this. I got to wait for them to make it. And I want to do that with this one as well. On terms of my long-term story, there's 10 volumes planned, really. I don't know if we're going to, I don't want to be the obnoxious writer that's like, oh, by the way, I could write 100 of these, because there's I think I'm going to always check in with my
No, you gotta know
artists,
your
my
audience.
partners. Yeah, and well, in the audience as well. And how are we feeling about this? Should I get to the end? I know what my ending is. I know where I want to go with it.
See, and that's the signs of a good writer is you know your beginning, you know your middle, you know your end.
I don't think you should really execute a story until you actually see the ending in your head. Not that you know exactly how you're going to get there. But
I mean, to have that idea, you know where you want to go.
Yeah,
you know where you want to be at this point, and you know how you want to start it.
Yeah, and
sometimes along the way,
someone...
things will fluctuate and change. Your ending may even change, but you know how to get there.
Yeah, and I should have meant that.
Knowing how to get
I'm not
to that.
somebody who has the right to lecture anybody about how they want to do storytelling. In my experience, when I was able to see the ending is when I was like, I can step on the gas and I can get this done. And it would come out. It would come out and it would write it. I'm a big fan of Elizabeth Gilbert, Eat, Pray, Love, I think, and her mantra of wanting to go back to the Greeks who believed that the thought is sort of, is using us as a vessel, and that, when you remove yourself from it and you just kind of let it do its thing, it really does, magic can happen. And I'm doing that with this story, I think, in my own process in a way. It's teaching me a lot about my own, how much should I, so much anxiety goes down when you realize just trust whatever the hell's coming out of your fingertips right now. Like, just trust whatever's happening.
Without spoilers, why can people expect from issue 2?
So as I said, issue 1 ended with Lone Twin City. What's left of St. Paul, Minneapolis, or St. Paul and Minneapolis, essentially becoming the Beacons. They're called. They're about to start over the first core ball, and issue 2 is definitely the game. And we get it's a straight up, almost nonstop action issue. We will learn more about our main characters and where she comes from, what's happened in the past. And then our issue after that is the conclusion of the game. And then after that's the aftermath. And we kind of learn how the behind the scenes political system of this city sort of handles a game, and how do you react to a game, and what are all the decisions that are made afterwards, and then how do you prepare yourself to do it again as a team, especially when you all kind of hate each other, which we're kind of good at.
You definitely got those vibes in issue 1. They were just there to do what they got to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, most professional situations devolve into that, where it's like, all right, let's just do the thing we need to do together here.
I need my 40 million this year, and then I don't care.
Yeah, I'm fascinated like that with pro athletes, because when they're in the moment playing, you'll see them they're fist pumping, they're nodding each other, and then later on they'll be like, oh yeah, I hate that guy, I never liked him here. It's like, wow, like the ability to compartmentalize to that extent is, I think it does.
I mean, you look at it from the big umbrella perspective, right? These guys, they play together, they win together, they eat together. They ain't necessarily got to like each other, but at the end of the season, if they did well enough, and depending on how their contract is structured, they have built-in bonuses. So it behooves all of them to play well together and to try to go out and meet these objectives that are going to get them their big player bonuses at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's
so it makes sense to that perspective.
Yeah, for sure. And that's valid, right? And it's justified because that's the system they're in. So and that's what a lot of this is like, I see no difference a lot between the professional sports system and oil and gas. Like, I'm kind of like, I feel like everyone's incentivized to sort of get certain things for their region, for their constituents, for their corner of the world, and it's all sort of bumping along, and everyone kind of has a moment sometimes where you're like, why are we doing this? And someone maybe tries to change it, and then that whole thing collapses on them, and then you have to make a choice. Like, it seems impossible to change this, so then what do we do? We're definitely, hopefully, that's the sort of themes we're going to explore in the series.
No, I'm excited to see what's coming up next. But coming up next with you is, I want you to walk me through your Kickstarter rewards. I know you've already. I stopped you earlier. You were getting a little ahead of ourselves here. You were trying to show off your cool T-shirt, You already brought up the cameo.
Right.
What else can people expect when they back?
Yeah, so for sure, what I'd like to do is pair the first issue with the second issue. Definitely, digital downloads with discounts, right? So that it's cheaper to purchase them.
So people will be able to catch up and get issue 1 as well as issue 2.
Absolutely. I'm also definitely got a batch of issue 1 to mail to everybody. Those they're not going to come at the same time because issue 2 will be done later. But I'm happy to, unless it might be cheaper to have to do it as. I
was say with everything going on with the Canadian Post right now, it's probably going to be easy.
Yeah. Well, and the tariffs too. That the tariffs are kind of
that too. I forgot about those.
To get them over. Yeah. But for sure, I mean, within the next few months, I'll definitely we'll make 2 issues for sure. Throw in a T-shirt. We have a sneak preview splash page from issue 2 that I'm working on making as a poster. That
I did see that. I seen you had posted that.
Yeah, and that will be colorized. That'll be finished and set to go. That's where it's at right now. And be happy to. We'll definitely send that as part of bundles as well. The T-shirts as well. We've got a white version, we got a black version, and we have what else do I have? Oh, we've got credit lists for sure, right? If you want to be on the credit list for the next couple of issues, please, by all means, we would love that. We would appreciate that. We want to reserve a space of a page to thank our not only.
I always think that's really cool.
Yeah, but our Kickstarter. Oh yeah, I mean, all of this stuff is a labor of. I can't do any of this alone, and if it's
I'm happy to say there's a few Kickstarters out there that are getting mailed to people to say the chairman in the back.
Oh, nice. That's
how I do all of them. Yeah, I don't ever
nice.
use my real name. I just put the chairman.
Nice. Okay, and the stretch. Some of the stretch goals we have is variant covers for sure, but also I already have I've got a playing card game for that's based on Powerball itself.
Yeah, I seen that was mentioned in the Kickstarter homepage. Was like you had a card game.
Yeah, I debated kind of. I mean, because I've got a whole bunch of it right now, but I want to keep play testing it. It went through one play test and it did pretty well. I want to do another one. And maybe probably another one after that too. Just really rock solid it.
Yeah.
I turned that into a verb, to rock solid. But once that is there, if we can get the Kickstarter to that stretch goal, I would give definitely pledges that went over a certain amount.
Yeah,
I definitely want to give the cards to people as well, and that is something I think will be really fun because we already have so many characters, and it's essentially it's not about it's essentially 3 to 3, 6 to 6 actually I think, or 7 to 7, just like the game of the comic book itself, but sort of 3 to 3 lined up in columns.
They'll play Powerball against each other. That'd be kind of cool.
Your job is to basically get more number points, right? But every card has a variation that is based on the character's power.
That's really cool.
Yeah, what they can do, what they can't do, and you do it 3 times, and if you win 2 out of 3, right, you win. You win the whole thing. Arbiter bots are kind of these like Joker cards almost, that like if you get all 3 of them, the game is over. You win no matter what.
That's really cool.
So, yeah, it's been fun.
Really cool that you have it all like.
Shout out to Runtime Data, which is the group that helped me develop the game. Yeah, sorry.
That's really cool. No, I was just saying, I'm like, that's some really cool like stretch goals. The Kickstarter as a whole. I mean,
thank you. I'm keeping it. I'm trying to keep it simple.
That's what I was going to say. It's simple, but there's a lot going on as well.
Yeah.
But it's not overkill. I know some campaigns are just like overkill to hell,
Yeah, I mean, I love doing the merch. I love kind of like making things that are building around the story. But I want to keep it to the story, and I also don't want to overextend myself, right, to where it comes crashing down a little. But it's been I've loved it, and everybody's response has been wonderful so far. I'm really grateful that people are responding the way they are with it, and I am yeah, we're just looking for a few thousand to essentially get us over the hump for issue 2, and then that'll set us up nicely for issue 3 to just go bang bang. I really want 2 and 3 to be like boom boom, right one after the other.
That's always really cool. I really enjoy when I see a Kickstarter like it exceed its goal and they kept it simple from the stretch goal perspective. That way they have capital going into the very next issue and they can just start it right away. I always enjoy seeing it done that way, especially when it more than exceeds expectations and just being able to go, all right, thanks to everybody, I have this much capital and I can now just immediately start issue 2 or 3 in this case.
Yeah, so really cool. And I mean, even if it falls short, it is my first time trying all of this, so I'm expecting a bit of an uphill.
So did you not Kickstarter for issue 1?
No, issue 1 is all me. I funded it. I didn't want to start all this on a Kickstarter because I kind of wanted to earn the currency and just earn. I wanted people to see that I'm serious about making
a natural following for it.
Yeah, and it was great. I just don't look at my bank account too much.
But you know what? We were talking about this before we went live. There's a lot of really good print places in and around you.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, the print shops are everything's going up quite a lot, and so it's tough. It's tough to get it all out. But I'm learning a lot I've been talking to a lot of vets out here. Jeffrey Ellis is one that comes to mind right now. John Anderson, guys who have been doing comic publishing for a while, and they're really good at it's like I've already had a couple moments where like, come here, look at this page. Like, do you really need the page to look like this? Just realizing how, just because I wanted higher quality, I stumbled into like my first batch was like, the shit looked like travel catalogs. And I was like, oh wait, no, I don't like that as a reader. I don't
very high gloss page.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what am I doing?
Here's what I mean. Don't get me wrong; those look absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah,
they're absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
but it increases the price of the book to like $10 to $12 a pop.
It sure does. And so I'm just sort of realizing how much I have to. I'm not good at being budget conscious when it comes to.
So production. I mean, if you look at what like Marvel, DC, Image, and all those guys do, they do a very high quality cover and back page with a nice press board, and then the inside is your standard page.
Yeah, which I like texture wise. I like that actually.
I do too. I like to feel it to feel like a page, like it combined with the cardstock covers and the pages on the inside. It has a very distinct smell, and it's refreshing to me. It's something about opening it up and reading a brand new comic book. Especially once you get to like the center page, it's if you read comic books, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, old 80s copies of Captain America, or something, and it just it's getting that memory print from newspaper back in the day.
Right? Exactly.
And, I do like that. I do grab. I try to leave room for I'm of a generation that like that, and there's maybe a lot of people that don't, and I'm also kind of. I've been out of the party for a while, and I'm just kind of coming back in like, hey, and everything is, I really love where all the different directions a lot of the storytelling has gone, and a lot of like traditional characters getting kind of reconceptualized in ways that are really cool. I love that stuff. I love like the variations and everything. I don't want to be like, I'm hip and cool too, and do and do what I'm not, and overextend what I'm not. So that's another rule for my storytelling with all of this is I'm really just going to tell the story from like a place of what I know is real and true, and I'm going to trust that it's it's understandable.
At the end of the day, that's really all you can do. You don't want to overcomplicate it. I always go back to keeping it simple.
Yeah.
And I think keeping it simple tells the best stories.
Yes, absolutely.
Because once you start convoluting like stories and characters and that kind of stuff, it just becomes one of those where you're like,
Yeah.
They tried way too hard on this, and it's almost unreadable.
Yeah.
And I read a book like that not that long ago. The premise was amazing.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the art amazing. But some characters weren't fleshed out enough. Some were, you might as well have just flushed down the toilet because they got really fleshed out. And then you're just kind of looking at it like they tried too hard, and it shows.
Yeah. And
but then they usually self-correct on issue 2. And thankfully in this case, issue 2 was very fleshed out, very well done. And you're like, oh god, somebody finally pulled them to the side and said, hey, this ain't it. You need to fix this and this, and then you got something. And thankfully the person listened, and when they rolled out issue 2, you're like, that's what issue 1 should have been.
Yeah, well, and it's so hard when you first start executing it, right? Because like so much of story is like I'll write a whole setup, and I'm like, what am I even doing with this setup? This setup is just for me to like understand who these people are, and now I'm going to cut this thing off, and I'm going to start it here. And
that's one of those where you flush out off screen, and then you bring the story back over. You storyboard it, then bring the story over.
Yep. So much of story structure is cut and paste and puzzle making, and it's fun in theory, but when you're doing it, it's so nerve-wracking because it's like, because
you don't want to leave you don't want to leave that key thing out. There's always a key thing, like I can't forget this key thing. It has to go in this book somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've seen some people leave that key out, and you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure there's a point in here somewhere they were trying to make. They just never did it.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, hey, I might join them. You never know. You never know.
I think if you continue down the path you're on right now with issue 1 flowing directly into issue 2 and picking up right where it left off, I think you're going to be golden, dude. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But with this book being a lifelong project evolving over 2 decades, what do you want your readers to walk away from after finishing the next issue?
The next issue.
Well, just the first 2 issues in general. I know.
Yeah, I think I want them to walk away with a feeling that this is about systemic change. This is about systemic competition. This is about us. It's about everything around us. It's about everything that came before us, and it's about and that I'm not trying to provide an answer for that or a solution for that, but my hope is it gets them to think about solutions for themselves and for their own backyards. And if we all feel like something's if we all feel like the roots have been rotten for a long time in the world we live in, we got to trust that. We have to accept that it's been like that for all of humanity, like 20,000 years ago, 700 years ago, 700 years into the future. And what does that, what is it that we're all missing? Because I refuse to believe that that's just an endless cycle and we're just going to keep doing it. Right. I do believe that there is, an evolution that happens in us. I do believe we have the ability to coexist with, our planet, our surroundings, with each other. And I have my mother always calls it pessimistic optimism. That I have this pessimistic optimism about us as a society.
I'm pretty sure those things go together.
No, it's oxymoronic for a reason. But if you think about it, it is something. It is this idea of like, we go through hurt and we go through pain and we learn in the worst way imaginable, but we learn. And I guess I kind of want them to just sort of like be in that mind state for this story. Like, I'm with you. Let's see what it is. And I will try to deliver that as best I can. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited, chomping out the bit about like kind of where to go with it. I do not want people to think I'm telling them what to do with it. I'm just going to sort of present this is like a reflection, so to speak, right?
Mm.
We'll see where it goes.
I like
It'll
it,
be
dude.
fun. And
No.
sports.
No, dude, I absolutely love where this is going. Gotten to read the first book. I'm absolutely in love and just absolutely ecstatic for the Kickstarter to officially kick off.
Awesome.
Now, that's where we're at. Let everybody know where they can find you and when your Kickstarter is kicking off.
All right. Kickstarter's due to kick off in about 3 more days. So we're probably going to kick off on the 6th.
Are we going to have a lunchtime launch or an afternoon launch?
Most likely, I guess it depends on where we are on the coast. I mean, for me, Pacific Standard Time, I'm setting it up to be a lunchtime launch, which might be an afternoon
It'll
launch.
be afternoon launch for me, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll try to do something like that. I might make it the 5th if we, maybe to catch Wednesday. Stay tuned. I'll definitely, definitely no matter what, get on the link now. Sign up for notifications. You can find me on Instagram. My name, Donal Thoms-Cappello. You can find me. You can find POWERSCAPE itself on Instagram. POWERSCAPE _comics. Same thing on Blue Sky. POWERSCAPE Universe. I think POWERSCAPE _universe at Blue Sky. But if you find me on Blue Sky, you can click to the POWERSCAPE social media as well. We also have a Patreon, which hopefully is here in the link too.
Yeah, so I went through and updated all the links to this story with his Blue Sky, Instagram, and Patreon, as well as the Kickstarter. So if you hit the links below the video, you will find it, or on the updated ad that I did for this conversation. Everything is down there in the links. So
yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and that's you can join as a free member if you want. You give what you can, of course, to the Kickstarter within whatever you're comfortable with. And I would just definitely encourage if everybody could just share it. Just share the Kickstarter as far and wide to anyone you think is into sci-fi, into sports, into superheroes, metahumans plus sports, right?
It's also really a fun combination of all of the above.
Yeah, for sure. That's my life. that's what I grew up with, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So civilization may fall, but the game always goes on. Donald, thank you so much for coming on and joining the council tonight. And for sharing the vision behind POWERSCAPE, man. It's a story about power, performance, and the fragile line between spectacle and survival. Everybody head over, give him a like, give him some follows, go over to Kickstarter, sign in, hit that notify me bell. That way you will be notified when this Kickstarter launches. And as always, support independent comics and support the USDN.
Heck yeah.
Donald, I want to be the guy to welcome you officially to the Council of Nerds and let you know that POWERSCAPE is USDN approved.
Wow. Thank you very much, Chairman. This was a pleasure. First order of business and at the council. I guess, where's the washroom? I think I got to go there.
I told you to go before we started.
This is a pleasure, man. Chairman, this was awesome. Thank you so much for your support, for what you're doing for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely,
and,
dude.
Heck yeah, man. I'm happy to. I'm honored to be a part of the council for sure. Yeah.
Just hang out for a few minutes. I'm going to end this, and we'll come back.
All right. Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
Peace.
Everybody enjoy.
It's a trap!